Hi, and thanks for finding me on SeeNicoleRead. This is my first ever YouTube video, and it was suggested to me that if I wanted to dive into the BookTube universe, that I should probably start with the BookTube Newbie tag, so I'm going to give that a shot. Question number 1. Why did you start this channel? I actually started this channel to sort of be a copycat of my cousin Laura at Laura's Library Card. She started a channel back when the COVID quarantine kind of really started, and I was really enjoying what she was saying and looking into the books she was reading and really just seeing her. And that kind of led me to find other people's channels and getting their recommendations and getting their thoughts and opinions on books, and I really liked that. So I asked her if she wouldn't mind if I also had a channel, and she was really excited and encouraged me to do it, and she's been really helpful. Question number 2. What are some fun and unique things that you could bring to BookTube with your channel? I think maybe what's going to be a little bit different about my channel is that probably the vast majority of the books I read are on Kindle Unlimited. I do pay for that monthly subscription, and I do really use it. I really like it. I feel like there's a good selection on there, and I also, get some things digitally, borrow them from the library and read them on my Kindle. Something else that's a little bit different is I own very few physical copies of books. They really have to be my favorite book ever for me to buy it or to hang on to it. If I do have a physical copy of a book, it's something I've picked up at a yard sale or flea market or something for 50 cents or $1. And then once I'm done with it, I give it to somebody or I donate it somewhere. I don't tend to hang on to books. Number 3, what are you most excited about with your new channel? I am really excited to get back into sort of like this book world where you're so excited to read and share what you've read and want to discuss it with other people. That was my life for so long, and then sort of, into my like mid to late 20s, early 30s. I was, so focused on college and then work and then kids that I sort of like fell away from that. I was still reading, but not with the veracity that I was used to. And so I've sort of found that up and found that again and picked it up again, and I'm really excited to get back into that world of reading. Number 4, why do you love reading? I really love reading because you're not locked into any one thing. Every book that you read can be a totally different topic or genre than the last one you read. And I really like that because I'm one of those people that I need to read one book at a time, and that's because I get so lost and absorbed into that world and that character and those characters in that book that I love that. I am in that. I am committed to those characters. I'm committed to what's happening to them, and I really love that. Question 5, what book or series got you into reading? I know exactly because they are 2 books that I actually own the physical copies of. Joy in the Morning and A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, both by Betty Smith. I remember falling in love with those books in middle school, and they are books that I've read, dozens of times each, that whenever I'm kind of like in a lull, they're what I pick up and reread. I just love them. They're a really simple, honest look into what life was like in the Great Depression and the years that followed. And I love that. There's something comforting in those being my favorite books. Question 6, what question would you ask your favorite booktubers? It would have to be, how guilty do you feel about, deciding not to finish a book? When you've picked it up and you've read, I don't know, a couple chapters, maybe you've read 200 pages, and you're like, I just don't care. I don't care what's happening in this book. I don't care about these characters. How guilty do you feel, or how hard is it for you to sort of like return that book or put it away or give it away, just not finish it. Like you're not committed to finishing. Is that hard? Do you feel guilty? Number 7, what challenges do you see yourself having with a BookTube channel? I want to know if I'm ever going to feel comfortable sitting here and talking to people through a camera. But I'm really excited to do it because I want to get, I want to, have a relationship, a back and forth with other people talking about their love of books and the characters they love. And I'm really excited to do that, but I just want to know if I'm going to get comfortable doing it. Number 8, when did you start reading? I was a really early reader. I actually asked my mom, when did I start reading? She said, you went to kindergarten reading. So I know that's not the real heart of this question, but I always remember like loving books and having a book. I was one of those kids that got in trouble in school because I was reading too much during class when you were supposed to be doing other things. And in my defense, I probably finished it and then picked up my book and then had a hard time putting it down, which my son is getting in trouble in school for the same exact thing. So maybe it's a little bit of genetic component there. I don't know. But I just remember really loving books and always having a book with me as far back as I can remember. And I remember in middle school, there was like a school-wide competition of who could read the most books, and you could get points for reading books. And my best friend at the time and I, we were really neck and neck. And in the end, she always won. She read more than me. But that we would sit together somewhere and we would just sit and read. That we loved that, and I look back at that, like how fun I remember that being. It was the Accelerated Reader program, which is different now than it was then. But in high school the same thing. In high school I really got into reading books that were going to be movies or were already movies, and I had to read the book first. And I mean, just my whole life, I remember loving books. Number 9, where do you read? I normally read right here in this chair. This is my bedroom, so sometimes I'll be in my bed reading late at night or early in the morning, or right here. This is pretty much it. I do have this sort of like dream sequence fantasy that I'll be able to sit out on the back porch and the kids will play in the yard and I'll read and they'll play. But so far that's not working, so most of the reading happens right here. Number 10, what kind of books do you like to read? I really truly I'm pretty open. I really have a pretty good variety of books that I like to read, but right now I'm kind of surprising myself. I'm falling really into romance books, which if a year ago you'd asked me this question, I would not have said that. I was not a romance reader. That was not my thing. I was more into fantasy or science fiction or realistic fiction or just really anything other than romance. But right now I'm loving romance. I'm really digging it. But I've read a couple fantasy books this summer. I'm really open to anything. I'm truly really am happy to read anything. I do like books that come in series, or maybe the first book is about 2 main characters and then the second book is about like one of the secondary characters from the first book, and you sort of get to catch up what happened to the people from the first book. Or I just like series that, it takes 8, 9, 10 books to tell this world's story. So I like series too. Thanks for watching, and I really look forward to this experience and getting to know some of you. And leave me a comment with your favorite book, because I just finished a book this morning and I'm looking to start something new. Thanks. Bye.